Tama, ayoko. Ayoko.
It's like 2 years ago.
Good evening. It is now 5:33. I apologize for the late start due to some technical issues with power outage. It is time to call this budget workshop, special called school board meeting of the San Felipe Del Rio CISD to order. This meeting has been duly posted in accordance with Texas Education Code Chapter 551. At this time, Mr. Almaraz, if you would call roll.
Becky Luna Chavez,
Present.
Brian Weston,
Here.
Joshua Overfeld,
Present.
Emilio Galindo,
Present.
Amy Haynes, she is absent today, and Mrs. Linda Guanajuato Webb.
Present.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Quorum of the board is present. At this time, we will start with opening ceremonies with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Thank you. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we will begin our budget workshop with item 3A, health insurance. Ms. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Overfelt, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. This evening we have with us Ms. Lexi Young from our insurance consultant firm, Brown & Brown, to give us an update on our medical insurance plan renewals.
I'm a little bit taller. Sorry, gotta move the mic a little bit. Hi, Dr. Rios. Hi, Mr. President, and the rest of the board members. How are y'all doing this evening? Everybody doing okay? Oh, sorry. I'm gonna lean over real awkward. Sorry. So some of this information I know Miss Amy went over the last time for the last meeting. Our renewal timeline, which we are pretty on par with right now. We're still waiting on some additional quotes, but we're trucking along. Also, our plan performance report from 2025. I want to make sure that I highlight this percentage down here in the bottom right-hand corner. So that's our premiums versus loss ratio. So that tells us that we paid in pretty much the exact same amount of premium that we ended up paying out in claims. We had 100% loss ratio. So with our renewal last year, where we should have received about a 28% increase, we did get that 9.5% rate cap that was originally negotiated for the second year renewal with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We're sent out more in claims than the premium currently paid in, which is why we are going to see the renewals that we are about to see on the next couple of pages. Just a quick overview of our current medical plans and rates. Just want to refresh everybody's memory on what we are currently paying and our current enrollments in these plans. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here, but I just wanted to make that information available to you. On the next page, this is our initial renewal. It was a 39% increase, which we all know is a very steep increase. And again, this is because of plan performance over the last couple of years. When we pay out essentially more in claims than what's paid in, because Blue Cross Blue Shield does have its administrative costs that it has to collect on, we happen to see these much larger increases. I will say in general, we are seeing this kind of across a lot of our clients. This is not specific only to Del Rio. We have another school district that ended up with a 49% initial renewal increase. This is something that we're kind of seeing across the board with a lot of our school district clients, just due to high utilization. So we are doing everything that we can to provide some alternate scenarios. Not all of those quotes are in yet, but Blue Cross Blue Shield did supply us with a couple of alternate options. So this right here is going to be alternate option number 1. So these are going to be some adjustments to our current plan designs Keeping in mind that MD Live will still be available at a $0 copay on both HMO plans. We made sure to keep that the exact same because we want to make sure that we have good access to care for our members here in Del Rio. And then we also made sure that we're keeping our x-rays and labs covered at 100% because, again, an access to care issue where Blue Cross Blue Shield does not have a covered lab in in Del Rio. So they're making sure that they cover them at 100% just to make sure that we have good access to care. Now, the differences on these plans are going to be highlighted in red. You see that the adjustments are going to be made to the deductibles, the max out-of-pockets, and a few of the copays. So again, this is just one scenario to kind of help bring down our premium increase, but this scenario only brought us down to a 31% increase, so about 8-point down from current.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarity, on the deductible, it shows 2,500 / 5,000. Is that the increase, or what's the increase in the deductible?
I'm sorry, sir, which page are you looking at?
Well,
Are you looking at option 1 or option 2?
no, I'm looking at option 2, but the number's the same. That's why I'm trying to figure out what's the increase to the deductible?
So if we look at option 1, let's flip back to option 1. So our current deductible on our HMO 1 plan, our low-cost plan, is going to be $2,500.
Okay.
With option 1, that increases that deductible to $3,500. So it is a $1,000 increase from the $2,500, which is currently in place, up to the $3,500. For the mid plan, our
I'm
current...
sorry, I got you.
Yes, sir.
I had not flipped the page.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions on this current alternate?
I'm sorry, besides the deductible, what else increases?
It's going to be everything highlighted in red. So it's going to be that deductible, the max out of pocket, and a couple of the co-payments. The co-payments for the primary office care visits and the specialist visits are just going up by $5, so not a huge difference there. And again, these are alternate options, not sold options. We still have maneuverability here, and we're still waiting on additional quotes to come in to help use these as leverage while we continue our negotiations. Okay. Option 2 is a little bit more drastic of a change. It's going to change that deductible on our HMO 1 plan, which is currently at $2,500. It's going to change it to $4,000. Again, much more steep of a change. That HMO 2 plan, our central plan, that is currently at, oh, there is an error there, that is currently at $1,200. It's going to increase to $2,500. I'm sorry, I did I changed it in the title column, but I did not change it in the line item itself. I do apologize for that, so I'll make sure that I get that fixed and send you an updated one. I just want to draw attention to that HMO, the middle plan. Again, you'll see the title column says HMO 2,500, and that's what that deductible should be. So it'd be $2,500 deductible with a $5,000 for the family on that middle option. And then that PPO plan would go from that $0 to that $750 deductible. This did bring down the increase about 12 points, or just under 12 points. Again, this is not in any way the final options that are going to be offered. United Healthcare has been dragging its feet a little bit on getting us its proposal, but I have been told that I will have it no later than the end of the week. So I will have updates by the next meeting. But do we have any questions on the current plan alternates?
Just to add some, for comparison purposes,
Yes, sir.
if somebody is on the current plan, which we'll call it option A, on the HMO $2,500 plan,
Yep.
and has a deductible of $2,500,
Yes, sir.
if they wanted to keep the same deductible in the alternate option 2, which is the one you just went, it would
Be the
basically
mid plan.
move that to the HMO, the plan you just went over, the
Yes,
middle
sir,
one.
the mid plan. Yes, sir.
But it would be an increase of, like, it's 519 to 661.
Yes, sir. It is a much higher increase to move. Again, we were provided alternate plans with the deductible and the max out-of-pockets being changed to help lower those premium dollars. It's really the biggest adjustment we can make to the current plan designs to keep the copay structure.
And what is, what's the
Very awkward.
the rate of increase if we go with that option 2 you have up there right now?
It's going to be down in that bottom right-hand corner just for reference, but it's 27% increase from current on the premium with the current contribution scenario.
Sorry,
I
Ms.
know,
Childress.
I see a lot of wrinkled eyebrows. I'm so sorry.
The current plan, the 39% is what we informed the Board of Trustees.
Yes.
Just a simple math on the 13%. Does that bring it down by $1 million on the 12 months or,
So right now, on alternate option 2, if we went with this scenario, we are looking at a $2 million increase. It's going to be that bottom line where it says employer annuitized dollar change from current. So it would be a $2 million increase from current with the 27% increase. If we were to go back to our current plan, or if we did the 39% increase, we're looking at 2.9.
800,000.
yeah. Okay,
And then one of the things that I also did was I went and pulled other districts kind of around y'all. Eagle Pass is obviously much larger. Southwest ISD is a little bit closer in size, so is Somerset. But I just wanted to kind of show y'all what the employers are contributing, what the employees are contributing, and kind of what their deductibles and max out-of-pockets are looking like, just for comparison, to just make sure our benefits are staying competitive with the market in your area. So I just wanted to kind of make y'all aware of what's going on around us. But we do have, there's fewer and fewer school districts that are not charging, unfortunately, for their employee coverage. So I just wanted to kind of show y'all a little bit of comparison of what's happening with some of the other districts around y'all. Okay. And then last but not least, I know I've already mentioned it, we are
I'm
still
sorry,
waiting.
back-
Yes, sir.
Back to this, sorry. There's only 4 districts here that show what the rates are.
Yes, sir.
Are the other ones not shown because they don't have an employee contribution, or are they not shown just because it wasn't available?
It's either not available or I was trying to find something closer to y'all's size.
Okay. Can you explain, or not explain, but can you try to shed some light on why Eagle Pass, why does it say 0 to 142?
So their employee-only monthly premium, they have multiple plan options, the same as y'all do, to where on their lowest cost option, it is at a $0 cost to the employee, and then their highest cost option is a monthly premium of that 142.
I got you.
But their employee-only premium on their lowest cost plan is also $992. So way higher than what y'all are currently seeing. And I can tell you for Eagle Pass, Southwest, and Somerset, you can verify that information online. For Uvalde, they are currently with TRS, and so their information isn't readily available. We've put in a request to see if they will share that information with us on what they are currently contributing to their employees' coverages and how much the employees are being charged, so I'm waiting to hear back on that. All right. Well, last but not least, like I was saying, we do have additional quoting that we are expected to see from United Healthcare. I'm hoping to have that before the end of the week. Cigna and Aetna did decline to quote due to claims utilization. And if UHC or United Healthcare comes in favorable, again, we'll be able to use that and leverage it as negotiation with our current carrier and kind of back and forth until we get the best deal. I also asked for additional alternates from Blue Cross Blue Shield to include a high deductible health plan, which is another low cost option that we could provide to employees. The only thing is that we'll get rid of the copay structure for anybody enrolled in that plan, so they would be responsible for everything out of pocket until they've met their deductible. Just a kind of reminder on how those high deductible health plans work. So I am waiting to get a quote back on that. That may be a solution for us on some of our lower cost offerings. And then last but not least, we are waiting on quotes for minimum essential coverage. These are plans that are strictly designed for preventative and wellness use. It's not really meant for large medical scenarios, surgeries, stuff like that. It's really just to make sure you have your preventative wellness covered. It's something that can be offered next to a traditional medical plan. So if we wanted to offer a MEC plan next to an HMO plan and a PPO plan, we could do that. It's going to be a much lower cost option, but again, it's much narrower coverage. So it's just going to be that preventative and wellness benefit. It's not going to cover major surgeries, or even some certain high cost medications aren't going to be covered under that. But for a very slimmed down, affordable option, it's still something that we can look at, thanks to Dr. Rios. And we are going to hopefully have those quotes by the end of the week as well. Okay.
Dr. Rios? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna wait for all your questions, then I'll have recommendations.
Thank you, Ms. Young. I'll start down on to my right, Ms. Webb, and then we'll work across the dais if anyone has any questions or comments. Ms. Webb?
Well, right now, there's a lot of information that we have to look at
Yes, ma'am.
and see what else is going to be available before
Oh, I'm
I
not
even
done.
start
Yep.
looking at what is beneficial. And and then we just received this information as we came in
Yes, ma'am.
today, so it's like, it makes it a little difficult to look at all of the numbers and look at comparisons
Yes,
with
ma'am.
other areas. So,
Mr. Galindo?
First off, Ms. Young, thank you for coming in. Just a quick question. I know it's early on, and I know I probably know what the answer is, but I just want to make sure I ask. Do we know, you gave us an example of these 4 districts. Do we have an idea what their insurance increase possibly could be on any of these, just ballpark figures?
So one of them was a 49% increase. So one of them on that list is the one I mentioned earlier, where they got a 49% increase
49.
on their renewal as well. Again, we're seeing increases pretty high in the fully insured world, kind of across the board, and not just in the school district space. This is also happening with some of my other clients. I had another one, much smaller group, so not necessarily a valid comparison, but they had a 65% increase, and they had a lower premiums versus claims ratio than y'all did, a lower loss ratio. So this is kind of something we're just seeing in the market in general right now. Increases are just very high.
And I remember you saying there was over 40% on one of these, but
Yes,
just
sir.
for the other 2, just.
I do not have their increases yet.
Okay. If you get that, can you send it in an email to get us an update?
Absolutely. That probably won't be available until they've made the decisions. The only reason why I know on the other one is because they are also a client of ours.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Mr. Almaraz?
Thanks for coming.
Of course.
In the, I guess in the second slide, the 2025 plan performance.
Yes, sir.
Just real quick, you mentioned the claims paid out equal to what was that again? I think
The premiums paid in.
Okay,
So
premiums
essentially, that number is going to be based on the dollars we've paid in premium and the claims paid out. So when we're paying out just as much claims as the premiums paid in, that means Blue Cross Blue Shield isn't getting paid for their administrative costs. So usually we want to see a loss ratio, we're still probably going to see a small increase, but a happy loss ratio right now is somewhere between 75 and 80%, just because that way, that little buffer right there, that 25 to 20% pays them for their administration costs and leaves a little bit of room for renewals to not be so high.
Gotcha. Okay. And I guess second question was on the current medical plans. I mean, the one we have is in the center column. The closest to that is going to be center column, the HMO 2500 on the
So the
option
current
2.
plans and medical rate are all 3 plan options that the district is currently offering.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the one that's, I guess if I'm reading this right, like just for comparison purposes, the center column for option 2 and our current one is pretty close to
Yes.
the same, correct? Okay.
But
Yeah,
it's just
there's-
that cost increase from the renewals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that for myself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Mr.
What's
Weston?
sorry, I just new to this right now, but.
I'm here for all the questions.
What's the breakdown of what people are enrolling in? Is it on here somewhere?
Yes, sir. So if you look at the page or any of the pages with the full plan designs on them, it's actually kind of just easier for me to point.
I see it. I see it, actually. Sorry. It's the
Under the tiers, right?
832, 143, and 70.
Yes,
So
sir.
the bulk of the people are choosing the
The lower cost
higher
option.
deductible HMO plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I have too many questions because I don't know how it works. And then I guess you're just going to play with some more high deductible
100%.
HMO plans with different combinations of copay and co-insurance and.
Yes, sir. We're going to see the most change in the deductibles and the max out-of-pockets, though. A $5 copay isn't necessarily going to make a huge difference to the premium structure, unfortunately.
Ms. Chavez? Any questions, comments?
Well, this is a lot of information
know.
for me to just, come up with a solution to this health plan.
Oh, we're
But-
not even close yet. We still have more quotes
Yes,
coming. So this is
and-
just kind of a sneak peek of the work that we're doing and work that we're going to continue to
Yes,
do to
and
bring the
I'd like
premiums
to wait
down.
for that, yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be back with more.
Thank you. Dr. Rios?
I don't have a question for Young, but I have a comment for the board. We approve our budget, it's a June budget when we approve it. The timelines rush even more because then we have to post what our budget is going to be by a certain date. And there isn't enough time to flesh out everything that has to do with the health benefits. We have to consider different options. We have to consider whether there's going to be employee contribution or not. We have to consider options that we haven't even been presented with. So it's a lot of work. My message to the board is we don't have to rush for this reason. We have a healthy fund balance. You all have the ability to commit certain money in excess fund balance for potential insurance increases. We really don't have to select the plan until what's the latest day we can select the plan?
Usually we're doing open enrollment in October, so we like to be done at least 45 days before that, so beginning of August.
Okay, so then because the increase is so significant, I think that when, unless we get some just incredible news in the next week or so, or 2 weeks, which is highly unlikely, my recommendation to the board would be that we set aside some money from the excess fund balance to be able to dedicate to the health insurance. That's not to say that we're going to dedicate that money. We obviously, as a team of 8, have to be more responsible, but at least it's covered should the most expensive option be our only option. And then that gives us time to study all options, maybe to do an employee survey if we needed to. Because if I, as the superintendent, was going to just do a reaction to this presentation, I would say, well, let's go with a third option, and let's have employees pay the difference between the current HMO 1 and the one in the middle, and then we have to come up with the extra 27%, and then the employees have to come up with the difference. But that's not a sound decision. It would just be an urgent one.
Yes.
So my recommendation is let's just continue to study. We'll set aside money from fund balance, or at least that would be my recommendation to y'all, so that we can take July and August to make the right decision. Because if we were to decide to go with the most expensive option, next year they're going to come back and raise the rates again. And we can't keep digging into fund balance to keep providing insurance. We did that for years, and it cost us millions upon millions. Anyway, so my comments are, we have time, we can be calm and really study so that we can do the best by our employees and do right by our taxpayers.
And I can promise you I'll do everything that I can. You know I love this district, and I've gotten to know these people very well over the few years that I've been able to work with the district and sit with the same people over and over again in open enrollment, so I'm not done. There's going to be more quotes and more opportunities, more options to come.
Ms. Young?
Yes, sir.
Here on the second to the last page, you mentioned that Cigna and Aetna didn't provide a bid.
Correct, they
just-
declined to quote,
Yeah, they just,
flat out because of the claims experience. Also, transparently, their networks aren't as strong in this area, so really Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Healthcare is more of our better options anyways.
so United Healthcare has said that they're gonna get a quote was by the end of the week, then maybe by the end of today, and now it's again by the end of this week.
Trust me, I've been taking that same comment back up to the chain of command on the other side because it was supposed to already be in our hands.
But is it an inability or an unwillingness to provide a quote?
I think it's just a delay in their underwriting team in producing those quotes. There's a whole underwriting team that these have to go through, and they have to go through the claims data and kind of calculate the risk and project out. So depending on how many RFPs they're receiving this year, which I know all of the carriers are receiving a lot of requests for proposals because, again, these high increases everywhere. So there's an uptick in just medical requests for proposals in general, which I think is what's causing the delay with the underwriting teams.
Okay.
It's definitely not an unwilling list, or they would have already told me that they would decline to quote just like Cigna or Aetna.
Second leader.
Just to ask,
Yes, sir.
our old insurance, Kempton, I'm sure, was it gonna be way higher than any of these or remain even?
That's a complicated question.
Okay.
So we do know that a lot of the services that were rendered through our Kempton plan were at a much lower cost than what we're seeing on a traditional Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Healthcare plan. Those contracted rates, I mean, that was the whole sell of the plan, was that those rates were just lower. The cost that we paid for procedures was just lower. Once we moved back to fully insured, we were subject to the carrier's contracted rates. So we would have to do a deep dive again on the claims experience to see what we could come up with and what kind of savings. But I'm going to do that at y'all's request because I just didn't know if that's something we wanted to explore again while we were still kind of getting fresh out of it. So, but I do see it being high, probably in the 700s, kind of where we were tracking when we decided to move away from that plan, just because of our high-cost claimants. We're 4 months in. We have 6 high-cost claimants over 50, and they're already totaling $1 million in claims just in the first 4 months on 6 people. So it's one of those things that we can absolutely do a deep dive in, but I don't think we're going to see a huge premium difference, unfortunately, right now, just because of where we would want to fund it to be prepared for those catastrophic events.
Just definitely wanted to ask, just to look at all the avenues.
Yes, sir.
I know we had it 2 years ago, and when we were moving from it,
Yep.
there was a high ratio of people, or there was a good amount of people who started to really like the plan
I
and really
still get
enjoy
calls.
it. So it would be one thing just to make sure to inquire if that was a possibility.
Yeah,
but
no, if
thank you.
I could bring it back, I 100% would. I think it was top quality care that we were bringing to the employees, and I wish we could bring it back, but it is going to come at a cost, and just the high cost claimants that we're seeing. And then we did have many people well, not many people, but we had 10 plus people that were possibly on track for transplants. And while we did see a lot of cost savings under the Kempton plan, there are some things that you just can't save money on, like a transplant. And so if you're looking at a kidney transplant, that's $300,000 per person. If we're looking at a heart or a liver transplant, you're going to be looking at $600,000 to $800,000. It's $175,000 just for the procurement of the organ. So it was a balance of everybody finally realizing how the plan works and using it a lot. So we had a lot of claims, and just the general health of the population.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that information, man.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Almanis.
Thanks. Dr. Rios, this is more for you. Obviously, with premiums going up, hopefully we get some good news. But how soon can we get a survey out to see what is important for our district employees? I mean, I don't foresee us being able to offer what we had, not us, right, but the insurance provider being able to offer what they had the last couple of years. But I'd really like to see something like that get pushed out fairly soon so we can make that decision here at the end of July or August, whenever we need to.
Mr. Almaraz, my recommendation to get true feedback would be to have concrete options on choices.
Yes, sir.
For example, this much deductible, no cost to the employee, or this much deductible, this cost to the employee, or plan stays the same, this cost to the employee. So I would rather that we come up with numerous options and see where the employees stand. But to send an option to say, do you prefer to not pay anything and have a high deductible, or are you willing to contribute $60 a month and have this type of, I think even those plans are too vague. So I'd like to, because we don't have to decide until late August, early September.
Early August, first half of August, you want to make the decision, because we'll need about 45 days just to get all the systems updated in time for open enrollment.
Yeah. I'm sure you could give us a couple weeks there leeway.
I can make it happen.
I'm sure you could. I'd rather have some good options to the employees and get more concrete feedback. So I really don't see us putting anything out there until maybe late June. I just think we're going to need that much time to get all the options in. But that still gives us 2 weeks in July to hustle and get as much feedback as we can. We could solicit campus help to call our employees and say, hey, please do the survey. So we could possibly do it sooner, but I don't know that we'll have all the options in before then.
And I do always like to put this out here, and completely up to y'all if y'all want, but I'm more than happy to host an informational town hall. You know, if we want people to come hear about the plan options before they answer the survey, I'm more than happy to come down here and do that.
Then one other question is for Ms. Childress. Ms. Childress, the last time we were with Kempton, our contribution was
$641 for employee only.
it was $641, but that doesn't count the $1.5 million that we put in from fund balance to cover it. So the reality is that the cost was a lot higher, right?
Yes, I think when we explored it, our cost was going to be around $1,000. Our contribution was going to go up to around $1,000 a month.
Oh, yeah.
Per employee. So,
Per employee, yes.
So it's just, even compared to what the highest market would be now, it wouldn't be anywhere near it.
Just because of the claims experience that we're
Yeah.
currently seeing and projecting out what that's going to cost.
Sure. Okay, we'll do something as soon as we can. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Young, for coming down and filling us in. And we, like I said, we look forward to the other stuff to come down the pipeline. So yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
can make that decision. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate your time.
Next, we go to item 3B, projected revenue and expenses. Ms. Amy Childress.
Good evening once again, President Overfelt, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. This evening, administration has before you our first look at our interactive budget workbook. Just a reminder, this is still a workbook, very much fully work in progress. So for this evening, we'll go over the general tabs that we usually have for you. The first one that we're going to start off with is our general pay increase. This information is based on the TASB salary study that we received during our first budget workshop, the 3 plans that they offered. The first one is the 2% increase, would be a cost estimate of $1,000,000. $909,401. The second option that was provided to us would be a 3% increase. This would be a total cost estimate to the district of $2,611,324. And then the third increase they gave us was a 4% increase, and this would be an estimated cost of $3,327,407. Currently, for the demonstration processes, I have selected no general pay increase at this time, but we do have the options here for the interactive workbook. The next section that we have for you to look at and consider is our personnel. And the first item we have would be a 50% increase to the recommended athletic stipends that you were provided earlier in a board update. That would be a cost increase to our budget of $76,112. The second is a 100% increase to the recommended athletic stipends. That would be an increase to our budget of $152,223. The third item that we have is the removal of non-renewal of the curriculum and instruction director position. That would be a savings of $135,019. And then we also still have some positions that are in our budget that we had put on hold when we were doing the district reorganization and the middle school redesigns. So we do feel confident we no longer need those those are just budgeted positions. Those are not actual people. But that would generate a savings of about $500,000 to remove those from our budget. So for today's purposes, I do have the curriculum and instruction director savings and the hold position savings marked for the workbook. The next tab I have is for insurance. So I do not have any plans on this insurance tab because we too just received the alternate options that we had just reviewed. So at the time when we did the interactive workbook, we only had the general increase of the 39%. But we do have some consideration for employee contribution that we would like you to consider. And there are two options that we have just for your consideration. The first one would be, so what we did is we have about 1,235 employees that are part of our plan. And we took them and put them in 5 different tiers based on their salary ranges. And this column here would be the estimated monthly contribution that we would ask the employee to contribute. This is a monthly contribution. This next column here, that's the number of employees more or less that are within that pay range. And in column H here, this would be the amount, total contribution for the 6 months, because our new rates do not start until January. So $496,234 would be the employee contribution that these rates would generate for our budget for the 6 months of the plan period that we would be changing to. That would be with an employee contribution of between $30 a month to $124 a month. The second option that we also have is we increased the monthly contribution by tier by $10, except for the last 2 tiers. So the tier 4 and 5, there is a 9.02% cap based on the Affordable Care Act, and that's in both options. But for the second option, it would be a monthly contribution of $40, $70, $100, or $124, again, based on the tier and the salary range that they were at. And that would generate $566,547 towards the increase in premiums that the district would be able to offset our increased contribution. Again, we're not asking you to pick one of these options on the workbook. This is just for reference. The next two tabs that we're going to look at, these are from the sustainability plan that Mr. Chapa provided at the last workshop. The first one is going to be the operations projects. So again, it's each project is listed, the building or location, what the project is, and the amount of the cost. To where once you have the workbook and we provide that, you can then go in and choose yes or no. If you choose yes, it will provide the cost and it will sum at the bottom of the page for you, just for your reference. At this time, for our demonstration purposes, none of the projects have been selected. But for the operations projects, it's a total of $2,087,220 that's being provided for you to possibly choose from. Technology, the same things from the sustainability information that Mr. Chapa provided. It would again be a total of $575,000 if all projects were selected. Again, you can go in and choose your selection, which projects you would like to see possibly done. The next tab is on our project financing options. Again, we had discussed if the district were to go in and borrow money on our M&O, maintenance and operations side, there are three options that we have. The first one is we would borrow $5 million, which would be a cost of $370,183 each year. The second option would be if we were to borrow $7 million towards the projects, it would be at a cost of $518,187. The third option would be if we were to borrow $10 million, it would be a cost to the district of $740,296 out of our general budget. And again, no items are selected at this time. So this last tab is our projected revenues and expenditures based on the information that we have. So currently we have projected total revenues of $107,970,616. On our expenses, so again, for general pay increase, nothing is selected at this time. For the salaries, again, I do have the reduction of the hold positions and the CNI director for the savings. Currently, I do have the $1.5 million that we had received would possibly be the increase of the initial renewal that we received on our insurance.
Can you zero that out, Amy?
Yes, sir.
So when we look at the deficit, we don't get alarmed?
Yes. Then the next items, so these are the budget workbooks that we have received from each of the campuses, the departments, operations, state programs, student programs, our maintenance, and our maintenance tax note. And then again, under the sustainability, no projects are selected at this time, as well as no projects for the possible project financing. So that brings us to a total proposed expenses of $108,076,179, which currently puts us at a deficit of a little over $105,000. Any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. I'll start on this side if anyone has any questions or comments. Again, it's just a workshop, nothing being decided tonight. Ms. Chavez, anything?
No, no questions right now.
Mr. Weston?
Are we going to get it on thumb drive again, the interactive workbook?
So not this evening. We would like to wait until we can get a little more on the health insurance options to be able to provide you with a full scale. So we would like to possibly either see if you would like to have another. So our next scheduled budget workshop is for the 8th of June, but that is actually when we would be needing to put together the actual proposed budget that we're going to publish. So we would like to know if, possibly if you would either like to have another budget workshop next week, or if you would like, once we get our remaining, hopefully renewals from insurance, if you would like to meet one-on-one with myself or Mr. Sanchez or Dr. Rios to discuss and go over the workbook individually.
Thank you.
Mr. Galindo?
No question, sir.
Ms. Webb?
I just had the same question that was already mentioned, when were we going to get a drive or the workbook? And whatever is decided, if we have another meeting, or if you want to schedule something individual with each one of us once we have the rest of the insurance, because that's definitely a big part of it. So to me, it doesn't make any difference, whichever is best for you and Dr. Rios and the rest of the board.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rios?
Ms. Childers, when we finished our meeting this afternoon, Mo Casey had not verified our projected income. Have they done that yet?
As of the 5 minutes before I walked in, no, I have not received an email from them.
Okay. So Mo Casey still has to verify our projected income. Amy's usually close to the right projection, but still it could save us a little bit of money, or it could create a bigger deficit than that. We also still have to comb through a lot of our workbooks just to make sure that we're projecting the right amount of personnel. She already did some today and brought us more within a balanced budget. But we still have to look at everything and look at opportunities to reduce some expenses. Unfortunately, we can't generate more income, but we can reduce expenses. And I think that the next 3 or 4 days will give the CFO and the deputy superintendent time to review some and then run through cabinet to see where we can save money. Because we have to come up with a proposed budget. Again, I don't think the insurance should play into this. I think that my recommendation will probably be that we just set aside fund balance to meet increased costs should we do that, so that then we can just focus on what else we can cut and what kind of raise, if any, needs to be offered. But I think that having another budget workshop when we have combed through everything would be a really good idea. But if your calendars don't allow it, then at least have a one-to-one meeting. Amy, Gilbert, or myself can be available to run through the workbook individually. So it's really up to y'all. Do y'all want to meet Tuesday of next week, which is a week from today? Or do you just want to commit to coming in Tuesday during the day and getting a one-on-one review of the workbook? It's up to y'all.
I'll answer that, and then I'll let everyone else. I'm fine with a meeting because I'd rather it all be out in the open as to what's being discussed. So that's just me. I can do the second. Ms. Webb?
The second is fine. You can have a regular meeting or one-on-one.
Okay. Mr. Galindo?
I'll let you know, Mr. Robert.
Okay. So now, Melons? June 2nd, good. Mr. Weston?
I'm good with the meeting, if that's,
Okay. Ms. Chavez?
If I'm here, because I'm going to be out, I'll go with the meeting, but I also wouldn't mind individual.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, anytime between now and then, if any of you
Yes.
wanted to come in and meet with myself or Mr. Sanchez, we can make time to meet with you prior to that meeting, and then anytime afterwards also.
Okay.
Awesome. All righty. Any other comments, questions?
So,
Dr. Rios?
Mr. Overflow, so then we're going to plan on having a meeting, and anyone that can't come to the meeting can have a one-on-one anytime after the meeting so that everybody has the same updated information. Is that,
Next week, I probably will be here. It's the following week so I would like the workbook before I leave.
Okay, so we'll post an agenda for
Next
a
Tuesday.
meeting from a week from today, 5:30, and then whoever's not able to make it, we'll have a one-on-one with them to catch them up.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
All right.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we'll adjourn the budget workshop. Any citizens to be heard? Mr. No? No citizens to be heard. That takes us to 11, consent agenda. There is one item in there. If y'all want to, if anyone has any questions about that before calling for a vote on consent.
Is this for F? Are you talking?
Yes,
about
ma'am.
F?
Yeah, if anyone had any questions on F, otherwise I'll just call for a vote to approve the consent.
I just had one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we talking about several or just one administrator?
Several or one administrator, Dr. Rios?
It's a group.
It's a group?
It's a group of 21 individuals.
21.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. It's a group, and they're coming down to provide the training here in Del Rio over 2 days,
Okay.
and then 3 follow-on sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Mr. Almaraz, seconded by Mr. Weston. Any other discussion? All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Takes us to 16, Human Resources. A, consideration to improve the conversion of an excess FTE or full-time employment or employee to Chief Special Programs Officer. Ms. Amy Childress.
Good evening once again, President Oberfeld, Dr. Rios, members of the board. Administration is requesting the approval of a conversion of an excess budgeted FTE to our Chief Special Programs position.
Are there any questions on this conversion? Recommendation, ma'am?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the conversion of an excess FTE to Chief Special Programs Officer.
For the recommendation, is there a motion to accept? Mr. Galindo first, seconded by Ms. Webb. All those in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Item 16B, discussion and possible action to approve the employee job descriptions and evaluation forms for the Chief Special Programs Officer update. Ms. Childress?
Good evening once again. Administration is asking for the approval. We are updating the Chief Special Programs Officer position. Just a couple updates due to the federal funding sources to make sure that it aligns with those grants.
Thank you. Any questions on the update for the job description evaluation form? Hearing none, recommendation?
Sure. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the employee job descriptions and evaluation forms as discussed.
For the recommendation, is there a motion to accept? First by Mr. Amada, second by Mr. Weston. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to item 19, closed session. Pursuant to Texas Education Code 551.074 and 551.071, we will go into closed session. All actions and final votes will be taken in open session. It is 6:27 p.m. We are now in closed session. Good evening. It's now 7:14. We're back from closed session into open session. No action was taken. Item 20, reconvened open session. A, consideration to improve, to approve the personnel report to include the following: new hires and district vacancies, retirements and resignations. Ms. Amy Childress.
It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve the resignations, retirements, and vacancies as discussed in closed session.
Heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to accept? Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. Chavez. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B, consideration to approve the position of Chief Administrative Officer. Ms. Childress.
It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve Charles Garabedian for Chief Administrative Officer.
Heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve? Mr. Alvarez first, seconded by Mr. Weston. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C, consideration to approve salary adjustments. Ms. Childress.
It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve salary adjustments as discussed in closed session.
Heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to accept? Mr. Galindo, seconded by Mr. Almaraz. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before closing, I do want to take a moment and thank, again, the community, the parents, law enforcement that helped earlier last week or at the end of last week with the evacuation and reunification of Sinisa Hills. We are very thankful to our law enforcement partners and district partners, everyone who helped out. It was good to see everyone working together. So I did want to publicly acknowledge that. I know we did a press release, but I wanted to say that as well. And the next 3 days are very exciting days for our district, and I hope everyone's able to attend. Tomorrow we have the scholarship and award ceremony. We'll find out who our top 20 and top 8 are. Thursday, the banquet for those honor graduates, and Friday night for graduation at Walter Liverman Stadium. So we will see y'all Friday night at graduation. Definitely. Is there a motion to adjourn? Mr. Galindo, seconded by Mr. Alvarez. All in favor? We are adjourned, 7:16 p.m. Thank you.